know, I'm from Philly, so it's like, and then New York, so it's a combo.
No, you got
you gonna get sun, John.
Yeah.
Born in New York, raised in Philadelphia. I've been in Georgia for about 10 years. I lived in West Philadelphia, which is, you can pretty much say it's rough. But my grandparents lived in Manhattan, New York. So I got to see two different sides, what it is to be, wealthy and what it is to be somewhat poor. I had an interracial grandparents. So my grandfather is Jewish and my grandmother is African American. So you can only imagine the dynamics of how, being raised and being in that environment, how it was different. I already knew about my Blackness for a long time because me and my cousins would get weird looks if we hung out with my grandfather by ourselves, because people would probably look at us as if we were like an escort or something like that when, he looked at us, didn't matter what color we were his grandchildren. I decided to take part in this project because I never felt like I had a voice. Honestly, didn't really start seeing an issue until as I got older about different things and understanding what racism and what trauma really was. I went to great schools, really, really great schools. Catholic school, I've been in private school my entire life. Honestly, the first time I experienced any form of, I would have to say trauma, was in 3rd grade when I was teased. And that was actually from somebody that was Caucasian from one of the schools I went to. And I just remember the vague, just an image of me being teased and being just under a table crying, which was, I guess, you don't want to think about the bad things from when you're a child, but that's pretty much the only thing that comes to mind. Fast forward to when I moved to Georgia. I worked at a clothing store. I won't say exactly where it was, but it was in Lenox Mall, right behind the escalator. I've been in retail for pretty much all my life. You know how if you worked in retail, there's, you have different visits and things like that. And I really wanted to wear my natural hair. I put it up in 4 braids and it was like an afro at the top. This was like 2012. Folding up clothes, managing different things. And my manager comes up to me and she's like, yeah, we're not really feeling your hair. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, what's wrong with it? Because generally, when you're working for some type of company, they don't want you to have like an exotic color or like, maybe like a blatant mohawk or something like that. That will be deemed as unacceptable. But I've never been in a space where having 4 braids up with my brown hair just, up at the top, I didn't understand how that was an issue. Her words exactly were, they wanted my hair to be more American. And I guess I didn't really understand, or maybe I was like in shock at that moment when I was saying, like when she was saying, like, more American, like, what's that? And I had to think about like, well, aren't I American? It's really frustrating to be in a space where you're working, you want to be accepted. You're just like, okay, this is just my hair. And then you have things that are in place like the C.R.O.W.N Act, as in, well, why? Like, why do we even have to have things like this? For me personally, having grown up where hair was so big, hair is such a big part. I've been teased whether it was like my hair was balding because I have alopecia. I've had perms, micro braids, cornrows, short hair, shaved head, like locks, you name it. I've had it all. Honestly, wasn't until I did this with my hair where I felt, and it's not just the locks, it's all of it. Me shaving my sides and shaving away in some way people's perception of what I'm supposed to look like, people's perception of who I'm supposed to be. There's this song by India.Arie where she says that I am not my hair. And I kind of understand that in a way, but in some way I am my hair. Issa Rae also says that being a Black woman is like it's infinite. Everything that we can, it's freaking infinite. So I want to be my hair. My hair shines bright. My hair, it's different. I can do anything I want to it, but it's a part of me. When I shaved my hair off, I just went to a barber. I was all right, I want to cut it like this because I felt really restricted. I felt like my hair controlled me. I felt like when my old boss told me that I needed to be more American, that I wasn't accepted. And having been this little girl who her whole life just wants to be accepted by people, whether it's for, I don't want people to look at the fact that I have an underbite. I don't want people to look at the fact that I had alopecia. I don't want people to look at the fact that I don't have the same home dynamics as anyone else. I just want to be seen for me. I want to be seen for my greatness. When I shaved my sides, I let go and I took back me, the part of me who I wanted to be, not what everybody else needed me to be. I stand here now as this person who I'm myself. I'm joyous. I suffer from depression. I am a lively individual, but sometimes I go through things. I have really bad anxiety, but my name is Nosh.is, and I'm amazing. My hair is amazing, and I had to continue to tell myself that. I had to continue to accept me for me because I felt like nobody else was going to do that. And the fact that right now, even at this day and age, that we have to feel so restricted and there's rules in place for us being ourselves is sad. I'm gonna address myself. I would say, Natasha, you are amazing and you can accomplish anything. And not to let anyone tell you that you are not beautiful or not worthy of love, of luxury, of life, because this world will try to bring you down. And unfortunately and fortunately, you have to be there to pick yourself up. You have to be there to be your own cheerleader. It's gonna be like that, but you have it and you got it and you have to continue to go after it. I started my community organization called pb&justice. I started feeding protesters right after George Floyd passed away. Feeding protesters while spreading awareness about racial injustices, and then with the leftover food, I actually distributed around the homeless in Atlanta. So a big event I did was I fed 100 people by myself for Thanksgiving. pb&justice, it's been the most rewarding experience I've had. We wouldn't be here. This conversation wouldn't be had. It would look like culture. It would look like a community. It wouldn't look so divided. I don't think that people realize that everything right now is just so much hate. People don't even make bills out of love. It's just hate. If we put love back in it, a lot will change.